All right. A minute early today to catch the stream. A couple good things that we can update on. That music is so loud. I can't tell. Do I love it? I don't know. Maybe. So let's talk about Drivel tonight. Let's talk about our marketing sprint that we are in the middle of right now. And we are at, what are we at? We're at day 26 now. Day 26 of Drivel. And I'll tell you the reason why you should listen to me. Not that you should listen to me, but the reason why you might consider listening to me is that I have given up on doing just about everything other than AI vibe coding businesses. We're living in a gold rush right now. This is like buying Bitcoin at $10. I equate it to that. I can't imagine anything having a higher ROI on your time right now than exactly this. So what we're going to do is we're going to get further into our marketing sprint that started end of last week. I think end of last week, I think is probably fair. Turn that down just a little bit. End of last week, we started our marketing sprint. And in that marketing sprint, we have been talking about how to understand the traffic that's coming to Drivel and just generally understand like what the traffic is doing. And so really quick, I want to give you a little tour of Drivel. Now, if you don't remember, I'm going to close a couple things here. Oh my God, that's like the most amazing picture. All right, let me drag this over here. All right, so if you don't know, Drivel is a location-based, I hesitate to call it social network because I hate the term social network, but it is. Location-based social network. And we are leaning into an artistic version of that, specifically this sort of Art Ghibli style that you can see right here. What our pitch is that I need to refine quite a bit is just making the ordinary extraordinary, giving people a cozy place to talk about locations that are near you with totally unlimited access to those locations. So unlike Facebook, where a company has to create a Facebook page for that theme or that place, we are kind of anti-POI, anti-point of interest. So you can claim anything. You don't have to verify it. You can walk into a restaurant and claim it. Now you're the person who moderates the discussion about the restaurant. Nothing wrong with that. So that's one big differentiator, is we're opening the concept up. And the reason why is because nobody knows more about that place than the person who goes and who frequents there. And that's why we want to put the power in the hands of that person specifically. So I'm excited to do that. It's a big differentiator. The second piece, like I was saying, is just this Art Ghibli style, where we take absolutely every claimed place has a cover image, and that cover image is in this Art Ghibli style. And the reason why I did that is because I wanted to create a sort of moat around it where I didn't want to worry about Reddit or any other major social network trying to do the same thing as us. I wanted to add a little bit of insulation and kind of make some design decisions that I think are controversial, but controversial enough that it would cause people to second guess. Now, I know that that design decision is polarizing. Not everybody wants to see Art Ghibli, but I think when you see it, so you can kind of see the Art Ghibli look over here, and this will give you a couple really good examples of it. But I mean, I think it's awesome looking how it just takes the normal average place. Even so you can actually see this place. Even something as small as this, right? This is like a little kid's kid's playground, right? Very true to form. This is exactly what it looked like when I took the picture. Here's a school. Okay, let's see what this looks like, right? That's the Art Ghibli version of it. It looks just like the original. Looks like the real thing. So anyway, long story short, controversial decision to do that, but I think it's the right decision. So in our marketing sprint, what I wanted to do is find my market. I am so used to just having a software development background. I'm just so used to like build the thing, then find the audience. And it's sort of one of those things where when you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. When you're a software developer, everything looks like something that you can just build, and so you do. And that's obviously an issue sometimes. And so I wanted to get out of that sort of, what would you call it, like kind of cycle of build it, then find people, build it, then find people. And although I did build Drivel, I wanted to concentrate on finding our market first. And so to do that, it's like my D was burnt out. Super weird. Anyway, here is our marketing page for Drivel. And this is where I'm sending the majority of traffic from Meta. We're going to take a look at the ads later, but this is what things look like. Now, I'm showing you on desktop, which is stupid because literally nobody uses desktop. Okay, so here's what things look like. And I'm just going to mouse through this so you guys can see what our marketing page looks like. At the very top, it says join the wait list. It's critical that it says wait list. I'll tell you why. If I scroll down, we explain to them, hey, see an unclaimed place, take the lead. Keep scrolling down. Now we're going to show them the effect of how it turns everything into something that looks just a little bit prettier, cozier, more fun. And by the way, this is our light layout. There's also a dark layout. And we've been testing which one of those layouts functions the best. And I'll show you what that test looks like. So with that said, I'm going to jump onto PostHog. And we're going to take a look at the analysis. And we're also going to look at Meta. So I'm going to drag on Meta. How awesome. Look at this dude. This guy is the freaking truth. Look at him. Her, him, her, I don't know. So when I first put all of this together, I had this idea that the little Drivel character was going to be like a friendly ghost. Not like Snapchat. You can actually compare Snapchat's ghost. It's very, very different. But the end goal was to make something super freaking cute. And this is what I came up with. And OMG, this is like, I think I said last stream, this is like industrial, military grade, nuclear cuteness. Look at it. It's holding like a little coffee. God, amazing stuff. All right, let's take a look at PostHog. So if you don't know PostHog is something that I have grown quite an affection for. I have used so many like customer data platforms in the past, but this is one that actually is a lot more developer focused. And I feel like, I'll speak for myself. I feel like most developers kind of suck at marketing. It's the thing that we don't really enjoy doing, right? Speaking for myself, you know, I'm going to go sunglasses, not because I want to look cool, but these lights, man, this is the price you pay for a well-lit setup. So anyway, so while we're taking a look here, as I was romancing PostHog, it's so well put together. And I found PostHog originally because of their session replay, because they have like just incredible fucking session replay. And you can go here and we can take a look at absolutely everything people do. So that's actually, I don't know who that is. And we could look at the people that are coming in and what they do. One thing I have noticed is that people are joining the wait list fairly quickly. So, you know, after somebody joins the wait list, what we immediately do is we immediately ask them, what did you think you were joining? Because I want to know, what do you think that this is? And the majority of people, I will tell you, I'll show you. Let me open up my dashboard here. So I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to show you this over here. So we keep track of what people's expectation is. What did they think that they were getting into? And the majority of people say place discovery. The next majority of people say place-based chat. And the third say local social. And then we have one and one that say something else. So these are all of the people who went through the full process. Then we ask them two more questions. Do you like this Art Ghibli style? Because that's a differentiator. That's like a major thing. I'm putting a major bet on that Art Ghibli style. And people say slightly, somewhat, very, extremely. Only 5 people have said not at all. So actually, I feel pretty good about this distribution. And then one of the other pieces, again, big differentiator for us. is if you have interest in being a moderator of a place, and you can see that somewhat and very make up, 24 of our leads. That's great. So that tells me that we got something, all right? So what we're going to do today is we're going to review 2 experiments that we have running, and I'm going to tell you what they are. So there's 2 experiments that we ran, and this one is really starting to show. It's kind of interesting. Is that? I don't think that's accurate. I actually don't think that's accurate. Anyway, last refreshed a day ago. It wasn't accurate. There we go. So what this does is this looks at, okay, cool. So we actually have a winner. This looks at showing comments and no comments on the front page. This was something I was struggling with back and forth, trying to determine if I wanted to show what comments looked like on the front page, or if I just wanted to push everybody right into it. And what this is telling me is the majority of people seem to prefer no comments. 46% difference, the win percentage. So this is the likelihood to win is 73.7. Now, the interval I told it is that I needed a 95% chance. So it's telling me that it's not significant yet. Makes sense. So we have one other experiment, which is dark mode and light mode. So we're going to refresh this. So dark mode and light mode, who wins? Well, right now they're almost neck and neck. So we don't know yet is the answer. I covered this in another marketing, I want to say it was 2 streams ago. So 2 streams ago, we had advertised this for about $100 for a few days, $100 per day for a few days on Meta to try and determine the type of person who was ending up making a registration. And what we found is if we looked at the area under the curve, the majority of people were female, metropolitan areas, 25 to 45 for age. And so understanding that really led me to say, okay, well, let's start tuning things in the app and lock down that particular audience, because we can just speak to that audience. There's no need to speak to everybody. We can just ratchet things to a very specific audience. And so that's what we did. And so I'm going to drag on our meta ads, and we're going to take a look at, kind of how things have progressed. Let's go to our ads. I'm going to drag my ads on. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Here are our ads. So 2 different ad groups. One is, let's just say today and yesterday. 2 different ad groups. One is in DC, one is national. Now we can already see that our DC ad group, when I say DC, that's District of Columbia, Washington, DC. I can see that my cost per result here is $6.38 versus $3.45. What's a result? Let's start with that. What is a result? A result is somebody who came to the website, went all the way through, and then entered their email address, confirmed their email address, and then filled out the survey. So that is what I would consider to be a high intent user, and $6.38 per user. Now you might look at that and say, it's kind of expensive. And you're right, it is expensive for a free social network. That would be very expensive. But what I'm banking on is that if we market to the right people, we can find ourselves some super spreaders that are willing to basically share this with other people that they know. And so we did a test for the last 2 days where we actually capture the location of people that are signing up. And what I have noticed is we've got locations of parks, offices, gyms, community centers, all sorts of stuff. The reason why I like that is because if somebody is already at a location that they frequent, I believe they are more likely to claim that location right away. And then they become, that just becomes the first location that they claim. Not sure yet, but we're going to figure out. So one thing we're going to do today is we're going to create a marketing funnel here, and I'm going to show you what that's going to look like. Now, PostHog has an incredible AI builder where you can literally just type into AI the type of funnel you're trying to create, and it'll build it for you. So I want to create a funnel that shows me how far people got into my survey after adding their email address. We should look, let's see, the conversion page starts at welcome, and then the rest is based on events like, and so I'm going to go ahead and just grab some of what these events are called. Let me go in here, spin up a new tab. So we're going to go into persons. Let's go ahead and take this one. Okay. So there we go. These are the, let's see. So we're going to say waitlist art style interest. Okay. Which is step 1. Okay. And then we also have a location. Let's go to somebody that has filter. There we go. So we have a latitude. Okay, so let's see what it can do with that. So that, I'm hoping that that creates a nice little funnel for me of how far people are getting into our survey, because we're going to A/B test some stuff in the survey as well. And so it's figured this out. Yep, there we go. So I suspect we're going to have some drop off at sharing the location, but we're going to see. I mean, this stuff is incredible to me. This was just unimaginable years ago, months ago, to be able to create a dashboard based out of this data. I mean, it's incredible. All right, so 63, this is good. So there we go. There's our drop off, right? Expectation to art style, a little bit of drop off. To moderation interest, a little bit of drop off. And then a lot of drop off. Okay. Now, the reason why, actually, you know what? The reason why there's so much drop off right here is because we only introduced that yesterday. Okay. So I do want to add this to my dashboard. It's like, yes, I would like to add it to my dashboard. Hello? Okay. All right, let's go back to our dashboard. And then I'm going to change this to just the last 24 hours. There we go. So this is our funnel. This is a little bit bigger. I want to just modify. Can I modify how big this is? Doesn't look like it. Left to right. So let's just say yesterday. Actually, we should say today. So if we look at today, 16 people. Okay, so this is much closer to our real drop-off because we only introduced location, like I said, between my last stream at 9 o'clock last night and right now. So we've only had 24 hours of data. So what this tells me is like the drop-off is really good for these few, and then location has the highest drop-off, which is unsurprising. To be honest, 37.5% drop-off. I mean, not really that bad. I don't know what this 16 seconds, 20. Is this how long they stay? Okay. So total conversion from end to end is 37. 37% of people fill this out. Okay. I'd say that's pretty good. All right, let's get out of here. So now we have some data. Now the big question is, what are we going to do? What are you going to do with all that data, right? So I'm going to kill this retention thing. This is useless. Remove from dashboard. Okay. So something that's been kind of interesting is that Instagram has turned into one of the bigger referrers for us. And then this is converted. So our conversion rate right now is about 20%. So 20% of people land on the page and then move to sign up. Move to sign up. So it's not clicked something. That's actually incorrect. I'm going to edit this. Just make sure this is correct. Yeah, it's not page view. Contains welcome. You know what I'm going to do? This is not correct. This is view to page. Not suggested step. I'm going to duplicate this. So this is correct. View to page and then viewed this page. So our blended is this. Can I rename this? I can. So this is going to be registered, and then this is going to be landed. Landed, registered. Cool. 3 hours ago. So 19.63%. So I would actually say the 20% conversion is pretty good. What I would like to know is a comparison across which ads are coming in. And so that's one of the challenges that I have right now is that I don't think that I'm capturing my my ads. I'm sorry, I don't think I'm capturing my UTM params. Let me see if I can do a breakdown here. Breakdown attribute. Does not look like I am capturing it. Let me see if I have my UTM. Let's see if my session replay. There we go. So, okay, there we go. Dude. So it does give me my campaign. Okay. I like that Facebook automatically does that, so that's helpful. I am a little bit annoyed, though, that... There we go. This is... Like, I don't know why it's not just... Am I even still on? I'm not sure. I have no idea what just happened. Chrome just started taking all of the resources. Are we good? Okay, I guess we're back. Weird. That was bizarre. Okay. Let's see if we're back. Are we back? Guess who's back? Adam's back. Let's see what we got. Create, go live. I should be live right now. I am live. Cool. Okay. I don't know what happened. My bad. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to Post Hog. Where were we? Let's go back to play some chill beats. All right. So let's log in. There we go. Okay. I want to create a breakdown to understand the different campaigns. Let's just say the different ad units that are driving conversion as defined by someone having an email address set. Let's try that. Let's see. Take your time. Don't worry, take your time. Post hogging. Bro. There we go. Okay. Sweet. So this is showing me over time which of my ad units are doing the best. This is really close to what I wanted, but we have to figure out which ad unit is which. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to head over here. Ads.Facebooky. So if you don't understand this, I'll just give you a really quick explanation. The ad unit here, which should be our UTM content. Yeah. So that's going to be registration events by content. So I can see stacked graph on that. So what I'm going to do. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so I didn't know that. I didn't know that I could connect my ads data via the data warehouse. This is interesting. Okay, so let's do that. Let's connect our meta ads. Description, search, meta ads connection. I don't even know how to do this. Okay. Continue. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab all of Post Hog's. Sorry, we're going to grab all of Meta's data about my ads. So that gives us a data source. And then hopefully I just get a sweet. I know you can't see this right now. It's mainly because I'm setting it up on the other screen. Ad account 852. So this is going to sync all of my creatives. There we go. So I have a data warehouse now that has all of my ad creatives. And now this will tell me specifically which ads are performing. Let me see. Confirm your table. Sure. This is awesome. So now as UTM stuff comes in, we're going to be able to correlate it directly with this. And so we'll use Post Hog's AI again to help us with that. That's sick. $100 million rows limit for the free plan. Wow. That is incredible. You know, that's why Post Hog is awesome. Basically, I think their whole model is like pay nothing, pay nothing, pay nothing, pay nothing, mortgage payment, right? So it's like they want you to get so freaking committed to using them, and then it's just like, oh, we can't go back. It would cost us too much money. I get it, obviously. I also like how they make, wait, what the fuck? Dude, that's weird. I already synced the table. I already have this data source. Yeah, I know. Data source, total rows, rows synced. Okay. This is probably it. Okay. So I'm just going to do this. I just... Okay. That's awesome. The fact that I could just ask to do this instead of phoning a friend or like going on Stack Overflow back in the day, I mean, this is huge. Okay. ID, UTM content. There we go. Cozy Ad City. Weird. What? Oh, Cozy Ad City, evening. Yep. Wait, what? Evening. Sick. So these are good, but I guess city. No UTM. Cozy Ads are your strongest performer by a wide margin. Yeah, I know. One question I have though, I'm going to show you my Facebook ads. I'll bring the meta ads in here. So I have two different ad groups. So I have Cozy Ad City Evening. Okay. Right? Cozy Ad City Evening. X out of this. Cozy Ads City Evening. And which ad group is that on though? Is that Cozy? Okay, Cozy. Wait, that's the same one. Wait, hold on. I think I named the ad groups the same. Oh, so evening. Hold on. Let me add. I need to add a column here because I'm getting mixed up. Customize columns. Okay, where's our campaign? Ad set name. Campaign ID. Is that it? So this is weird. Okay, so the ad set name. So this is the ad name, Cozy Ad City Evening. Cozy Ad City Evening is in Drivel is Cozy Copy. Cozy Ads. So evening is Cozy Ads Copy. Oh my God, I'm fucking myself up here. This is an interesting like predicament that we've got right now. So if we take a look at this, I think I just need to rename this set, the ad sets. Let's get out of here. Ad set delivery is active. Okay. So this particular campaign is our very locked down campaign. So I'm just going to call this instead of, let's say, so I'm just going to call this ad set. Drivel is Cozy DC. And then if I come in here, Cozy Ads Evening, right? You know, okay, so I understand why this is not. All right, let me go out here. So then these are national. And then if I go in here, I should say city. I'm just going to, come on, edit. National. It's like you have to click the pencil like directly. What a pain in the ass. So, okay, so now I have those ads set up, and I'm going to re-pull from the data warehouse. This is huge, by the way. What we just did, now that we're importing Facebook data. Dude, where is the warehouse? I just had the flippin' data warehouse. Data source, maybe? What did you call it? Data warehouse. Dude. Bro. So it's under data and then sources. Okay. Okay. So I do want to sync this again. Okay. So it says it got the data. Rerun this. I changed add unit names. So here's what I'm doing. Let me see if I can explain this in a way that makes sense to all of us. I am trying to determine which ads. Yeah, I'm going to try and determine which ads had the highest likelihood of filling out our survey. Huh. Yeah, so national, obviously. Did this not save? Hold up. So national, let me go back in here. Did Drivelous Cozy DC? Oh, so I didn't even save it. Bro. Come on. Okay. All right, so we're going to go back to our data source. We're going to reload again. Okay. So this does give me really good info. Now I need to piece it together to figure out who's actually converting from the survey and at what point they are doing so. Is it more likely that the people with high density are doing it? We're going to put together, I would like to put together a sort of where people are. So let me see. Names are the same as last time. Haven't been synced. What? Bro. Come on. Ad sets. Okay, we'll just say add this to the dashboard. Okay, so now on my dashboard, I actually have two funnels, and I want to see the funnel for different campaigns. So this is my survey completion funnel. So I'm going to duplicate this funnel, and we're going to go in here. Because what I want to do is I want to add a comparison. How do I add a comparison here? I really want to add a comparison. How do I do that? Got that. Filters breakdown attribute. How do I do that? No. So I want to add it on like a detailed piece. So how do I do this? Okay. Let's see if we can get that broken down by ad group. I want to see if people in DC maybe are more likely to say yes or less likely to say yes. And then that'll tell us about how we need to optimize the survey. In the meantime, might as well start building some stuff that's fun. That's why we're here, isn't it? Isn't it? Okay. So here's what we're going to do. I'd like to build an admin dashboard that has a, what do we want to say? That has a map of the US and has blips on it to indicate each sign up. We can use Mapbox. I have a key. So we're going to use my Mapbox key. We're going to do a dark layout for it, and then we're going to give me blips actually in DC. UTM content, I'll add that to the breakdown. Yep. Can you use the joined field from my data warehouse for the UTM content? So how is this showing? So I don't see the breakdown. Do you see the breakdown? Is it just not done? It's not done. Okay, sick. There we go. There we go. This is exactly what I wanted. Yep. Okay, so now what we need to do... I mean, this is pretty close drop-off, by the way, based on the person. You know? Yes. Dude, this is sick, man. I want to, like, feed post hog. I want to, like, tip it. If there was a tip screen, I would use it. All right, let's go back to this. Okay. Which records should appear as map blips? Location submissions. Now, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to use something else on post hog. We're going to need to get some of this data for signups, and we're going to need to put it somewhere. I actually forgot that we're not saving this anywhere. We're not saving any of this data anywhere. We're saving the email addresses, but we're not saving like location and responses anywhere but post hog. Okay. How should the admin dashboard be protected? We're just going to say public route. What dashboard scope do you want for the first version? Map plus summary. Can you provide both required? Yes. So in PostHog, you have something called endpoints, and endpoints can be a SQL query that shows user data, right? So here's what we're going to do. I'd like a query that returns all persons filtered by people who have an email address set up and retrieve all the properties. Let's see if that works. Fidgeting. Okay, interesting. So there's nothing statistically significant except for this. This is statistically significant. This one, this kind of, but it's only a conversion of 2. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm worried that this is going to be our hyperlocal version. Also, by the way, today, I think I'm going to move everything over to DC. Maybe DC and Virginia. I don't know, because Virginia is big and it's not too metro. What if we did like New York? New York. So I do have this like feeling that people that are under stress want to talk more, and that this could be an interesting outlet for them. At least I hope it is. All right. Ad level, not the ad set level. I can see cozy ads national, cozy ads. Now rewrite the joining against meta ads, blah, blah, blah. Let's see if our SQL query. Select everything. Sure. Looks good. This is like, honestly, this is so cool that you can just do this. So here's all of my properties. And then what we want Look at that, man. How dope is that? Save as endpoint. So we're just going to say waitlist registrations. Endpoint URL becomes this. Cool. Okay, let's go back into here. What will a post-doc SQL respond event query? I'll show you the format. Public route will expose to anyone. Rounded area, exact coordinates. Doing it live. So endpoint URL copied. We have to go ahead and get now our Mapbox credentials. So I'm going to just open up this. And so we have our Mapbox credentials stored in here in an environment variable somewhere. Mapbox. Access token, public access token. Please place the post-doc SQL query or representative JSON result. So I am kind of curious how we... It's probably going to tell me, look at that, that's a versal. That's kind of neat. This is not found. So I haven't actually done this before, by the way. I've never actually done this. So we're going to see how I... okay, how do I trigger this? Configuration, materialization, data freshness, versions, playground. Okay, there it is. API projects, endpoints, waitlist, run, bearer, cursor. Okay, so that's what we need. Look at that, right straight to my personal API key. Love it. Okay. Okay. We're going to call this all access. I'm just going to give it access to the endpoints. Then we're going to create a key. Select access mode. Projects. Select projects only. Roll that up. Create key. Let's see. Paste JSON row. So is this done now? It is done. Okay. So it did not. IDs are now. Okay, cool. Maybe I need to refresh. 8 minutes. Dang, son. This is good, but it's not showing on the break. Okay, I guess we can just wait. That's fine. So let's do this. We're gonna do that. Nice. Do I have Postman? I think I do. We'll go ahead and use Postman to copy this over. Ta-da. I know you can't see it right now. So let's make... I'm gonna make a request. Is this a get or a post? I think it's a get. And then what is our... That's a post. Okay. Authorization. It's bearer auth. Token. God, I hope somebody copies that. All right, send. Okay. So I do now have a pretty nice paste JSON row. So we're going to figure this portion out. Please use other to paste other. Can I really paste that? Neat. Let's take another quick look at what Drivel looks like. So again, this is our marketing homepage, but I want to show you what the actual app itself looks like. So here is Drivel. And again, location-based social network where every location you can claim, wherever you are, it doesn't matter, where you can just explore things that are next to you. What makes us different? Art Ghibli style. So whenever you claim a place, the place that you claim automatically has that Art Ghibli style in there, which I think is pretty neat. So there is a mobile app in progress, but we do have a really nice mobile interface too. So you can see all the places that you've created. You can go to those places. And then from there, it is basically Reddit threaded comments format, right? So I have to trim some of this stuff. So what we're going to do on the marketing thread side of things is we are going to create a brand new ad set. And what I'm going to do, my plan is I'm going to create this campaign. I'm going to duplicate this campaign and we're going to go right into, get out of here. What is this? Engage view shows your video ads that people most likely to convert now. Number of copies, show existing reactions, A/B tests, so I can compare the change. No. So we're going to run both of these and we're going to kill our, fuck out of here. So we're going to take out DC and we're going to actually do New York. So tons of shit's going on in New York right now. We're going to do the same daily budget, except we are going to go and rename a couple things in here. Let's see, attribution model, spend date. This is what we want to edit here. So for locations, we are going to use, instead of DC, New York City. New York, New York. So we're actually going to do a city, just a city. I mean, it's a fucking big city. Look at that. 35 million people. Wait, that's not right. New York, New York. Fucking big. Okay. That's what's up. All right. Update that to all the campaigns currently using it. Sure. Shit. Wait. No. Audience is in one ad set. Okay. So I want to change this ad set. Sorry. Change this. Change this. Okay. Preview to publish. I did want to change. Actually, I want to look at something really quick. I'm not sure if that ad set is actually going to New York City. So that would be under the campaign, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just make sure. So we're going to turn off our national campaign. And then we're going to go into our New York City. Actually, I'm going to go into my DC campaign. I want to make sure that I did not change that. Because it looked like I had a linked audience. And that's a little bit concerning. DC, oh shit, it did. So why is this audience? So why is this still doing it? You know what? Maybe it's because, okay. You know what? I think I know why. So we're going to do Washington, D.C. again. Washington, D.C., U.S. It's interesting that there's like, state. There's a state and a city for Washington, D.C., which is kind of funny. Washington, D.C., and then what we're going to do is we're going to collapse that location, show more controls, minimum age 25. And then we're going to say we also want to do, where the hell is it? Locations, height control, minimum age, languages, include these custom audiences. I'm a little, hold on, there should be, there it is. So that's what we're going to do. So female audience. Do I need to save the audience or can I just say publish? So let's take a quick look because I might have screwed that up. So this is our DC audience. Let's just make sure it's DC. It stayed in DC. 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 Where's female? Suggest. Interesting. Okay, so that's our DC audience. Now let's go into our New York. Let's see if that even worked. So if I go into New York, so I should have copied that ad set. I'm pretty sure I copied that ad set. Guess we're going to find out. So this is our NYC ad set. Let's make sure it changed. New York, gender female, age 25 to 45. Okay, so that's what we want. I do need to change the DC ad set. Come on, man. Facebook does not make this easy. I mean, we're getting faster, but it's still, I still feel pretty dumb. Show more controls, minimum age, custom audiences, suggest an audience, show suggestions, age 25 to 65. No, 25 to 45. We had the most folks 25 to 45 actually. Now I want to make sure that that's stuck. Okay, there we go. Cool. So let's make sure that these guys are running now. So I've got a couple ad sets. Here's my two different campaigns, New York City, DC. And then what I did is I actually turned off our national campaign. And so we're only going to do DC and New York City. And so let's get this working. Result contains emails and exact coordinates, but no sign-up timestamp. What should the public map expose? Pretty sure it does have a public timestamp. Is it created at? I'll just... How should the dashboard retrieve the post hoc data set? Saved query name. Now, call the following. So what we're going to do is we're going to call post hog. Gosh, I got to stop doing that. Should we revise the save fog query to return a timestamp for date filter and recent activity? Add timestamp. Sure. Revise. I guess. I don't even know if you can do that. So we should be at the point now where we can go back into post hog and then see our survey completion funnel, hopefully. Refresh. Okay. So if I hover over, I still don't see. Is it like color coded somewhere where I should be able to know? There we go. Breakdown attribute, initial UTM content. Can I change this to be... It just shows the ad ID, not the friendly name. Let's see if we can address that. And so success for me tonight is getting to the point where we have a nice little graph of like where people are showing up. So we have some nice little blips. And then we're going to see our big pitch, our big experiment is going to be, is New York going to win out on DC? That's going to be the big question. So we'll figure that out. You know what I like? I actually didn't know this, but apparently PostHog has an MCP. And so you're actually seeing it use PostHog's MCP to grab all this data, which is actually pretty cool. There we go. Something that's interesting that you may not know about PostHog is when they built PostHog, they actually decided to make it all SQL. So everything is SQL from the get. And I think that's pretty neat because it makes some of this transformation a lot easier. No like streaming database or anything crazy like that. PostHog revise the PostHog to return explicit email coordinates and sign up. Okay, fetch data server side with a private bearer token, validate, transform safely. Add public dashboard, registrations on SSR, safe OpenStreetMap view, view endpoint shape, sure. Although I did say Mapbox, not OpenStreetMap, but we can always change it later. Not a big deal. Not the biggest deal. And let me just check our meta ads because we're going to have New York City preparing and DC. So really what we're going to have to see is, I mean, who's winning out? I mean, is New York going to win out on density? Now, there is a major issue that I actually have in the app. And I haven't told you about this, but that is that we don't calculate elevation. And there's a lot of high rises in New York. How do we handle when you're on the 35th floor instead of the 20th floor? What are you claiming? Are you claiming a room? Are you claiming the entire plot of land? I freaking literally don't know the answer to that yet. We are going to figure it out live. So let's see how far we get. We're going to make a nice little graph over here. I'm going to get my Mapbox token working. I use Mapbox right now for like the actual drivel proper. So if you go here and you click on nearby, this up here is generated with our Mapbox token. It's nice, like dark mode. So I think it's pretty slick. And so our place feed, this is almost done. Our place feed is going to begin getting feed from posts. Sorry, it's going to get posts and comments from things that you're following, things that your friends are following, and things that are near you or places that you've claimed. So for example, if you claimed a local Starbucks, that now you're a moderator of that local Starbucks. So it's more likely that you're going to see posts from that. But if there's a Panera down the street or Subway, as people interact with that, as posts get a higher amount of votes, those are going to start showing up in your feed as well. That is going to be the long pole in the tent. I think there's a lot of feed optimization that we're going to have to figure out how to do. At the end of the day, what I'm trying to do, I know it says the first 10,000 users. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get my first 250 super spreaders of people who are going to download and use the app, moderate places, and immediately share with their friends. Because if I can find 250 people that each do that for 5 of their friends, I think we're going to have a nice little network effect that we can work on. I was looking at the data today of who's already signing up and where they are, because we can see the location. And people are signing up from the YMCA, a local church, a parking lot. One of them was like a shipping container facility, which is probably, maybe it's where they work. Another one was a restaurant. There was like a public bathroom in a park. So somebody's probably on the toilet, right? Doom scrolling, and they're like, "Oh, Drivel, I'll download that app." Um, anyway, it's funny stuff. It's really interesting to see how people use this stuff. But definitely, if you have any suggestions, drop it in the chat or just kind of let me know. Um, because I'm really listening to folks right now, especially if you're in my target market. Tell me where you are too. I mean, where you are in the world. Are you in Germany? Are you in the Netherlands? Are you in the US? Are you, standing outside my house? It could be any of those places. I mean, if you want us to open Drivel next to you, let me know. I mean, if there's enough density, we'll do it. And then you can claim anything. You can walk outside, claim your house, claim the dog park, claim the splash pad. It's up to you. All right, so let's get this working. By the way, we are using GPT-5.6 Soul. I actually meant to use Max Fast. Max Fast is not as expensive as Soul. Actually, no, just kidding. It's twice as expensive. I use this when people are watching, if I've got like a customer on or something, and I just want to like get something out there really quick. I don't know that Soul is really a necessity for what we're doing right now. But I mean, it is what it is. And I like using 5.6 Soul. The one thing I've noticed is that when I'm using 5.6 Soul, it does a lot more build plans to really make sure it knows what I'm trying to do. What I find the most interesting is that, and this is something I never expected actually, and I probably should have, is that when you rely on these LLMs to do UX, each LLM is going to have its own little like UX that it prefers for certain things. And part of the app was developed using, what would it be? I think it's like Opus 4.8, and then Fable 5 for like a week, and then 5.6 Soul. And it's interesting because you could see, so this was developed in Opus 4.8, and then the nearby page. It's so funny. Opus from the bottom, and then this is GPT 5.6 Soul across. So really different like design systems, like really kind of neat. So let's see. Looks like we almost have our graph over here. I am going to tell it like, what the fuck? I told you to use map box. I'd like to use that. So let's see if it can chug through this. And then what we'll do is we'll do a push. We didn't make any major changes to the marketing page over here just because we're still running a couple experiments to see what's going to work. I am in the process of making a video for the marketing page, but I don't know. I mean, right now our conversion rate's almost 20%. I mean, I guess it could be higher, but I honestly think that there's more to gain on the ads and the creatives than there is on the page. I'm not sure though. People are scrolling to where we want them to. They're reading the page. They're kind of looking at what we do. And if this is your first time taking a look, you can go to drivel.app, drivel.app, and you can see exactly how it works. You go claim a place. It automatically turns that place into the Art Ghibli style. You can see some before after pictures here. And then that becomes the cover photo for the place. And then all of the places that are near you will have that super stylized, but yet still totally accurate view. It gets text really well. It nails that. These pictures, I mean, these are places I've literally stood outside of, and it nails them. Absolutely nails them. And I think the effect is just so cool because it's like you're walking through your city and you just see a whole different view of your city. So I think it's pretty interesting. Still waiting, man. 5.6 is taking its damn time. What time is it? It's already 9. Dang, son. Let's get this moving. Let's get our dashboard rolling. I don't know what it's making the pop-up for. What is that? Let's see what this looks like. Okay. Yeah, that's not bad. That is what we're thinking. Joined this week 8. That's not correct. Five. What? kind of confused. Why is that 5 and 63? Huh? Should be 63. Fix the dataset partial, revise the endpoint or import. What? What a bizarre question that asked me. Preparing. Come on, man. You know what? I think this is an awesome stopping point. I think we got done what we wanted to. We're now in New York, and we're going to try that. So we're going to check back same time tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll start the stream, and we'll see how New York is looking in comparison to DC. Catch me then. Look